Good morning, everyone. This is Thursday the 29th, and this is Sharon from Mountain Peace. And I wanted to get on here and share some things that I'm getting. What I am receiving is that time is collapsing. And what I mean by that is that old wisdom is coming forth in the now. It's always been here, but it's crossing the barriers of time, and it's reaching people who probably may not have studied the old prophets and their wisdom, and it's coming through the psychics in their downloads. So one of the things was is I made a video and uploaded it, but then took it down because nothing was in sync and it didn't feel great. But there were a lot of things that was in that video that it turns out on the post today, the spirituality with Sam talked about. And the interesting thing about it was when I made this video and I ended up deleting it because of my perfectionism, one of the things that the guide said to me was, it doesn't matter. Get your voice out there. And if nobody listens to it, don't worry about it, because once it's created, it's created. It will find its way, the wisdom, it will find its way to where it needs to be, the wisdom and the message. And that's exactly what's happening, is things that I'm saying in my conversations with you before I post and that I don't record. I'm finding a few days later, I'm hearing it from the Dreaming Women and from others in the Dreaming Women and the 4 a.m. Club. So energy cannot be stopped. Once it's created, it's there, and it's there for the ethers. Our job is to let our voice be known. It's not for others, it's for us to claim our power. And then it's up to spirit, the universe, however you want to look at it. They deliver the message, and then the recipients can either accept it or reject it, or put it there and let the seed germinate. There are a lot of things that can happen. So one of the things that Spirituality with Sam said this morning was she was talking about don't let your fears be the dominant reason that you're doing things. And that's exactly what my video was about with Abraham Hicks, channeled through Esther Hicks. Abraham talked about there's a stick and there are two ends to the stick. The one end of the stick is your desires, what you want to create, the positive things, the hopes and the dreams. And the other end of the stick are your fears, your doubts, your despair. And so you have to look, as Spirituality with Sam said, and as Abraham said, and Abraham's been preaching this for decades. But you have to look at what your motivations are, and you have to be honest with yourself. And Bashar, who is channeled through Daryl Anka, also says this: you have to look at your fears and be honest with yourself. And as you confront these fears and they come up to the surface, they kind of just fall away. But acknowledging them, and that's part of it. So that's the one thing The other thing I wanted to talk about is Bashar was saying, and this goes along with Spirituality with Sam also. Bashar said several weeks ago, a few months ago, he said, give up the illusion of power and focus on the power of illusion. And that's exactly what she said, where it's the illusion has no power over us. However, we need to focus that this power thing that they have is an illusion. They don't have any power over us. So these are things that I'm seeing. I'm seeing from movies, the little nuggets in movies of spirituality. I'm seeing the great, I want to say avatars, but the great masters from before. Everything that they said is being said again in a different way, in a different platform, and it's riding the waves. And that's the other thing, speaking of riding the waves, is back in 2012, and I did post this one about my vision, energies converge, and it's where the earth energies and the star energies, the heavens, are joining together and never to be separated. And one of the things they kept saying to me is, feel the vibration, ride the waves. And in this vision, I am riding on top of a whale amidst the waterfall of stars and the waves of the stars, which are cascading down into the earth where we're joining. So a lot of the verbiage that I've been giving from decades ago is coming up now. And it's exciting to see. So pay attention to all this. When you watch movies, pay attention to them. There are, if you even guided to watch movies, there are nuggets in there. Like, for example, Star Wars talks about when Obi-Wan's talking to Luke, he said, Luke, you will find that many of the truths we cling to are from a certain point of view. And that's another thing where Bashar goes on. And let's see if I can see where he said that. But Bashar talked about that too. And he talked about that we see things from a certain point of view. And how we see things determines how we experience things. And I want to circle back and go back into the last video I put about prayer and the power of forgiveness. What I didn't say is when I had this experience, I was in 3 days of total unconditional love. And my response to everything was just love. So the power of forgiveness isn't for others, it's for you. That is the big thing. We have to be selfish in the sense that we take care of ourselves, we take care of our spiritual self, we take care of our emotional self, our mental health self, and our physical self. That's where the selfishness is. And we've been taught, no, put others first. And people along the lines have misconstrued that and felt that they were being selfish if they took care of themselves. And that is not the case. You take care of yourself first, because then you will have the emptiness and the strength to allow Source to come through you to do the work for you and to send the messages. When we come from a place of ourselves, that's what wears us down. When we empty ourselves, that's when we're energized by everything. But because we are human, this is just part of it. But the thing with forgiveness, one of the things that I realized in my own life was my theme for this life is people tend to hold me in a place of their own memory of what I used to be. And they want me to change, but they will not allow that change in their perspective because that's how they remember, and they need to let go of that. You need to let go of what somebody was to allow them to change into somebody that has grown. Now, that doesn't mean that when some people are in abusive relationships that you say, oh, well, I will go ahead and have them in my life. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you bless them and allow them to change, and you take care of yourself spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically. So those are the little bits of wisdom I have right now. They're also one of the things that Bashar talked about and others have mentioned in the dreaming world, dreaming women, is that we can't control the times that we're in. We signed up for this, but it's our response and how we handle the times that are in that's going to make the difference. And this was also through Bashar and through other great ascended masters, and also through my movies, because I see the spiritual nuggets in them, of Lord of the Rings, where again it's said, nobody wants to live through these times, but it's what you do with these times that'll make the difference. So these are the things that I have right now. These are the wisdoms. I'm hearing a lot of Patanjali, Rumi, Paramahansa Yogananda, Ramana Maharshi, Kuan Yin, and then the ones who were light workers that left, Wayne Dyer, Louise Hay, Leo Biscaglia. They're all coming through from decades ago and years ago. And everybody in the newer generation is getting these messages channeled. They're not new, they're just ripe. Ripe for the hearing, ripe for the acceptance, ripe for confirmation that everybody is hearing correctly. We are supporting each other. We are validating each other that we are right on. We are hearing things correctly. And I can't say it's not new or not old. These truths, this wisdom is in the now. And that's the place where you find it, in the now. So many blessings to everybody. Take care of yourselves. Don't watch the news at all. Trust that if you need to hear something, you will hear it. I guarantee you, you will hear something if you need to. Stay away from the chaos and just take care of yourselves and ground yourselves in your own self-love and the love and support of all the people that are out there, the Dreaming Women, the 4am Club, and those who are not part of this but have just as valuable words of wisdom and upliftment to share. So thank you all. I love you very much. I am right here and I'm sending this out. Whether you hear it or not, you will hear it through other people, if not through me. That I know is true. Take care. Love you.